How you doing? Today we're going to tie some jig nymphs. This particular jig nymph is a red kind of twist on a pheasant tail Frenchie. So to begin any of my jig nymphs, what I always like to do first is, in the vise here I have a size 16 Dohiku Jig hook, and I've got a 3.5mm copper bead slotted here sitting on the hook. So to secure that bead in first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of super glue up there on that knuckle, and I'm going to slide my bead up into place and hold it there for a second, like so. The bead sits perfectly up into place and it's there, so when I start tying, or during the tying process, that bead is not going to slip back down and be out of place. It's going to sit up there exactly where it's supposed to be. Okay, it's a handy little thing to get used to doing, just securing in your beads. And often if I'm heading into a marathon session of fly tying, I will sit down at night with several packets of hooks and several packets of beads and just super glue them all up there in place, put them in a little tray, and when I sit down to tie my flies, then I can just run them out. So to begin, I'm going to add in some Glo Brite number 4 for the tag. Just going to put a small little tag on this. For the tail, I'm using a little bit of small pinch of dark Coq De Leon. And I'm going to use the Glo Brite to secure that in. Just adjust it to the length you want. So taking your time, forming a nice little Glo Brite button there. You can then whip finish your Glo Brite and remove that out of the way. Then I take my trusted as ever Kevlar thread and attach that to the fly. Come back down over the Glo Brite, making sure it's all nicely secured in. Tidy up back to the waist. My rib for this fly is a red wire rib from Sybai, and I'm just going to attach that in there. And then I'm going to take a couple of strands of cock pheasant tail feather. I like to use 3. The majority of my flies, my pheasant tail nymphs, I always select 3, unless it's maybe a size 22. But for the majority of the time it's 3. So bring down your thread to where you want that body to start from, and then wind your thread back up towards the bead. Just a little bit of tidying up there. Gently begin bringing the pheasant tail up the body, forming a nice even taper up near the bead. Secure that in and take away your waist. Take the wire rib and a nice bit of tension, a couple of turns up that body. It'll probably take 4 turns, and secure it in. Tension off the wire onto the thread keeps everything nice and secure till you have it finished. A bit of a twist there, get that off. There we go. And there we have our nice body with a red wire rib. Now for the thorax cover of this particular fly, we are going to use some red holographic tinsel. and tie that in on top there. Let's take that away. Okay, again. If something doesn't look right, always go back and do it again, rather than continue on and not be completely satisfied with the fly. So tied in my red holographic tinsel. Now for the thorax itself, what I've got here is a little mixed oven. Okay, so in here I got some UV, some fine UV spectra from Sybai. I got some fox squirrel, and I have some red metallic dubbin mixed in there as well. It's a lovely dubbin and very subtle flashes in it. And for this red pheasant tail, it's ideal because you've got that little bit of red flash depending on what way the sunlight hits it with the UV. Makes it very effective. And then of course your fox squirrel gives it that lovely spiky. So a small bit of dubbin. There to begin with. Add another piece to that. Okay, when you're doing thoraxes like this at the back of the bead, small pieces of dubbin at a time. Don't look to put on huge amount till you're pretty satisfied that you're less is more, is the rule of thumb. Take your thorax cover, pull it directly over the back of the nymph, secure down with a couple of turns. Best thing about that Kevlar thread that we have on our website is once you give it that little pull, that tuck, it tucks everything so neatly in behind that bead, and it's really well secured. Take away your waist off the thorax cover. Another turn just to tidy up. Make sure it's sitting on top of the fly. Perfect. And then take another little pinch of your fox squirrel red and UV dubbin mix. And then put that in between the thorax cover and the bead. Just helps to tidy everything up in there, gives a nice little taper up into the bead. And whip finish again in behind the bead. Tuck down, everything gets sucked in behind the bead, everything's lovely and tidy, strong. Take our trusted as ever dubbin brush and brush out all that dubbin. Of course, always brushing out initially towards the bead. This is not putting any unneeded stress or pressure on your fly. Just to root out all that dubbin, and then just as you're finished, gently with the longer bristles, just guide all that dubbin back down over the fly. Remove any loose straggles by just running your fingers over it. And there you have it. Nice holographic red pheasant tail or Glo Brite butt. Nice subtle and spiky dubbin collar, and that is a very, very effective nymph throughout the entire season. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out on our website for all your fly tying needs, and see you soon.